Okay, should be going here live in just 1 second. And I believe we are live, so we might get some feedback here in a quick second. And but hey, my name is Danny Forts, and this is the Home Business Community Hangout. And you know, over the past week, we had a hangout last week, and it was really good for everybody to get to know each other. I know we're already building some great relationships here. Travis is actually on live this time from Mexico. How you doing, Travis?
Good. The internet's hopefully going to work with me today.
Cool. Then we also have Robert. Okay.
Hey, how you doing, Daniel?
When I'm talking to you, Travis. So cool. And yeah, there's a little bit of a delay, so I'll definitely try to pause in between talking to people so we can sort of catch up. So Renee, how are we doing today from Massachusetts?
Yep, I'm doing great. Hey, Dan.
Michelle Collier out in California. What's up,
hey.
Girly girl?
Everybody.
Who's out in Texarkana, Texas, little small town. What's up, Kai?
What's up?
Harpio, who's a new newcomer to our hangout, but I don't see her loaded on here just yet. I don't see her pretty smiling face, but
You see what she's doing? She's electrocuting all of them. She's saving.
Who are just going to have questions and want to engage and ask questions and so on and so forth. I'm sorry? Okay, someone's trying to get up. Anyway, all right, so last week we talked a little bit about video, and then we talked about doing like this 10-day challenge, and some of us have taken it, and we're doing it, which is cool, but then there's definitely something with having to keep up. I know that's the one thing I noticed this past week was just trying to keep up and do everything else that we're supposed to be doing. So, Kai, I want to throw it over to you first, okay? Because even the most recent video you came out with, you gave some pretty good value as far as what we should be doing as we're building our content to actually grow our businesses. A little bit about this video challenge and the part about providing value and what we're trying to.
Okay. So I think the important piece for your business is the content that you provide is going to get you the traffic. And I think a lot of people are worried about marketing and how do I get traffic? How do I get people to watch my stuff? How do I get people to opt into my pages? Now, it's important that you do have a converting capture page and offer that converts or something that's appealing to your target audience. But if you have the good content out there, don't worry about the traffic. The traffic will come. I think the tough part that Eddie and I both found out this week is it takes a lot of time to get that content together and put it into an appealing format and then get it out there. So if you're not focused on at least part of your time is geared towards putting content out that solves a problem for your target audience, then you're never really going to get the traffic that you want, or you're never going to get the visitors that you want.
Hey, Dana?
I missed that.
I noticed you jumped on.
Everything.
Okay, hold on 1 second. Hey, Dana, can you hear us, Dana? Dana? Wave if you can hear me.
Trying to tell her to check and see if her mic is muted.
Can somebody okay. I muted her, but then I unmuted her. So her mic might be muted.
Let me see if I can find Dana because she's in one of my circles. I will try to message her. Okay.
Okay. Cool. Okay, Michelle. I know you're plotting. You're plotting over there, and we had a discussion this week, which is the great thing about how we all join this community is we get to engage and actually get on the phone with people, have conversations, and you and I were having a conversation about where you're at and how you're just more or less starting fresh. Well, not starting fresh, but starting over, and you have like a plan on how you're going to do this. And your plan was pretty detailed, to say the least, but it's a plan that, you know, most of us, if we probably implemented, could benefit from doing. So talk a little bit about what your strategy is as far as using video, because obviously you use the power of video, and talk about a little bit about your plan, and you put a lot of planning into it, so just share a little bit about what you're up to.
Okay, thank you. I just want to, can I just start off by saying, you guys, how excited I was to come to this hangout today. I really didn't know about the community, even though I have been added to it, so I didn't realize that everybody in this group was from that community. But that's how I met Dana in that community too. That's how I met you, Danny, from Dana. And so now, over the last week, since I just been getting to know you guys, everybody is really putting out so much value. And I hear a lot of background noise. I'm having trouble hearing myself.
I know someone has a lot of background. It's not
Everybody
me, 'cause
should probably
there's, like,
mute their mics, maybe. Just mute your mic, maybe.
we got here. They have, who is that has you know, stuff in the background, peeps in the background?
It kind of
Or
got
was it
low.
Robert, because he just jumped off?
Oh, okay. I heard singing. I heard TVs going. I heard a party going. But anyway,
Right.
hi Travis, good to see you. I really have gotten a lot of value from everybody in so many ways, and it just made me more amped up to be here today. And as far as my plan goes with YouTube, I'm just really wanting to organize my structure. And so what I did is I gave myself a challenge. I hear singing.
Okay, it's definitely me.
I hear singing. They sound cute though.
Sorry, that's me.
It's you?
Is that children?
That's my daughter and her best friends.
You could
Yes,
just
it's
Okay.
my teenage daughter and her best friends.
just mute your
Okay.
mic, honey.
How about
Just mute your
How about
mic.
this?
Just
I'm gonna
change
just mute you,
rooms.
Renee. Yeah, I'm gonna. Okay, I just muted Renee. So we should be good from there. Just
Okay.
muted Renee, and then until we actually talk to Renee, I'll pop her mic up. Is that cool, Renee? Just give me a thumbs up if that's cool.
Thank you, honey.
Awesome. All right, she's got it. Okay.
All
Yeah,
right.
no worries. I didn't. I mean, I figured people knew. So.
It's okay. So anyway, yeah, I gave myself another challenge, and so the challenge that I gave myself this time was to write out a list of 100 topics that I want to discuss in my YouTube videos. I'm only up to probably like number 45, but it was really easy once I got rolling. And what I decided to do is to do my first 25 videos on YouTube, how to create a YouTube channel, how to be a YouTube rock star, how to put YouTube banners and thumbnails on your channel. And I'm just going to go all the way with it. So that's kind of my structure. And what I want to do with that structure is I want to spin it into a training series that I can use as a free offer as I continue to move forward with adding content to my blog. So that's kind of my plan.
Right. Cool. And it sounds like a
Does that
really
make
good
sense?
plan to use because the one thing about using YouTube video is especially if your content is generic in nature. I mean, I know a lot of times I do stuff on specific pieces of software and how to use certain tools, but I found like most of my trainings that I did on using something like Pixlr had the most views, which is kind of crazy. And those are the ones that get the most engagements, the most comments, and the most leads that people just actually find one of my pages, because there's a sneaky little trick of, like, whether you're putting your domain or working on something that's for a page, and when you're showing something that's like, people just are curious by nature of that thing, and that's how you get was indirectly related to internet marketing. So totally makes sense. Renee, I'm going to unmute you. Hopefully you know, a little less. But what have you been up to this week? You've done. I think I watched 3 of your videos this week, if I'm not mistaken. I don't. There's Renee there. Renee. Renee.
Still muted.
She's muted. I
Yeah, I'm
don't
still
even see
getting.
the camera. I'm trying to. Okay, I've unmuted her, but I still can't hear her. Anyway, Travis, let's go over to you, bro. It's good to see you this week, the real face and not just the picture.
Yes, I am a real
How's things
person.
down in Mexico, bro?
Today is good. Kind of cloudy, cold. Well, cold for me, but it's good. I've been working on.
Oh,
Oh, go ahead.
no, I was just joking.
Oh, I was working on. A lot of times, I see people having problems with finding content and what to write about. And a lot of times you hear people say, just produce something every day and people will come. But that doesn't work, always. You can be producing a video every day and content every day, but if people aren't seeing it, then you're taking a lot of your time and energy and you're not getting a good return on your investment. So I'm putting together a tutorial on techniques to reverse engineer what's working and how to do that. So you aren't having to, because there's a lot of blogs out there that don't post every day, that don't post 3 times a week like a lot of these gurus and stuff tell you, but they're producing hundreds of social shares and a lot of the blogs doing that a lot of people in network marketing are not. So that's been my love for this last week here, is getting this post ready.
Okay. One of the things I had noticed, and that's what got me into doing video and even some of the trainings that I had done, was when I had noticed a lot of people doing like 90-day challenges, for instance, and Kai and I actually touched on this before you guys actually all got on, was that when you're actually posting the videos to YouTube and you're doing them in a way where you want to get them found, so you know, proper keywords, proper tags, proper description, links, all that stuff takes time. So it's really hard to do a challenge like, you know, for that extended period of time unless you're just literally, because I don't believe in the quantity, I believe in the quality, and so that's why we had this little conversation, you know, before everybody actually jumped on, was the struggle, because I don't like to just upload the video and just make to get it up, to syndicate out to a bunch of different things. So when I put it up, I want to make sure it's got all the right stuff, all the right links, so when it does go up, the people watching it can go click on whatever links and so on and so forth. So I wound up having to take some shortcuts this week just because of that alone. So you bring up a good point. Going back to content is pretty much easy, and I'm going to talk to someone who has built a whole community of people, you know, posting a lot of content, and that's Robert. Robert, can you hear me?
I can hear you, Daniel. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Cool. It just there's definitely a delay,
Okay.
so that's why I'm definitely taking.
There is a delay. Yeah.
So from
no, there's definitely a delay.
Robert.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
a delay.
I'm not, either there's a delay, Daniel, or I'm not. I kind of missed what you just said. There's too much of a delay, I think.
Okay. So going back. Okay, I'm going to take it really slow then for you. So as far as content goes, and you built
freeze it up.
the community that's putting in a lot of content, right? And from the standpoint of content and what a community to bring, you're actually built a community that's doing exactly that when people talk about leveraging content. And you can
Yeah.
see a lot of that going in the community. Kind of just talk about that and how, you know what, for everybody who doesn't know, introduce yourself, introduce the community that you started, where it's at. Just give people a brief little story, because I think that was pretty key to what you talked about last week.
Yeah, well, you know what? My name's Rob Edwards.
And welcome, by the way.
And thanks. And Daniel, I just want to thank you for kind of getting these hangouts started, because this is huge. I mean, what we're all doing here, I think, is very valuable to the community and to anybody joining or anybody looking to get into the industry. And what I wanted to say about as far as what we're doing here, I would love to see. I know we're having this 10-day challenge, or you guys are everybody's gonna start doing cool videos. What I would love to see is I'd love to see a lot of the members start to get on some of these hangouts, and I'd like to see. I think we had touched on it last week about everybody doing their own hangouts, and I think including myself, I need training on that, and I think there's probably thousands of people that would love to know how to do one of these and host one of these, Daniel. And right now, I think that's the kind of training I'm looking for. And you guys are the experts on this panel, and there's thousands of people in the community that have so much experience in this industry that I want to see all their videos. I want to see other people get on these hangouts. And that's basically what this community, what I see for the future of this community. I see using this platform to kind of really catapult the community into a great place for people to come to, learn, get on these hangouts, do videos like you said, and that's basically what I was thinking about for today. I really want to see this kind of take off, and I want to see other people really jump in and get on board with this. Because once you do it, I mean, there's a little bit of a fear factor. You know, we're getting on here, it's being recorded, it can start to be shared all over the internet. So there is a little bit of a fear factor to come on, and I'm sure other people, I mean, you guys are experts at this, but there's a lot of people that aren't. So I'd like to see other people come on and just kind of get their feet wet. But that's basically it. I mean, the community's great. I mean, we're attracting so many awesome people that are willing to help people. And if you're looking to get into this industry, this is where you want to start. And we're just starting out. We only have 8,500 members today, and I can see that growing into the tens of thousands over the next year and beyond. So thanks for doing this, Daniel, and I appreciate everybody for being on this hangout, and I can't wait to start learning from all of you. All right, take it away.
So humble.
Well, hey, I just want to congrats. Going back to the same thing you touched on, the fear factor, and why video is so powerful is because, one, truth, transparency, that's the other thing, and it's like you're actually physically talking to people. There's an inherent trust when you can sit there and talk to people face to face. And that was one of my things, is when I'm like, well, how come no one's doing it? I have a hard time believing that people were doing as good as they say they were when, like, in this whole industry today is being driven by video. And the transparency, it's like we can name all of the top marketers, we can name all their marketing training, they all have websites, they all have blogs, they all have lists, but most of the people, like, going back to probably 80% of the community don't have these things. I just have a hard time, and that's kind of what my point is, because, I may not have the online affiliate success that I'm looking for yet, but at least I work with local businesses out in the community, and I have, I do have some sort of, whether you want to say portfolio, a certain level of success, whatever that is that we want to talk about, but it does come with doing video. When I stepped out on doing video, just so much more started to happen. So let's talk about, that was a good point, man.
Can I respond to Robert? Can I respond to something that he said before?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay. Yeah, he's such a humble person. I'm really impressed with him. And he did a great job just explaining that, and also talking about the fear factor. I've only been doing Google Hangouts for a couple months, and I put it off for over a year because I was afraid to do it. and I never did it before, and I didn't know how to get started. So I just started searching YouTube on how to do a hangout, and I just decided to just do it and just wing it and see what happens, because my goal was just to learn how to do the hangout. And so when I did the first hangout, I learned a lot. I knew so much more than what I did, before I tried to do it. And it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. And people actually did show up. And I think that was my greatest fear, is that I was going to be in a hangout all by myself. So I just encourage everybody to deal with the fear, is to just do it that first time, because once you do that, you'll learn how to use the hangout. And then each time that you do it, you'll learn more. And then people will show up, and it'll get easier as you keep going. So just do it.
Great point, Michelle. Thanks for chopping in. Is there anything in the chat that people are talking about currently? Do you know?
Nobody's there.
Okay, cool. I see like
Nobody's
we got
there.
a few viewers. Oh, there's a few viewers.
Kay, I'm sorry, Kay is there. Kay is
Okay.
there, but she's not saying anything. She said we're doing a great
Well,
job.
I'm gonna bring on Dana. We haven't been introduced to Dana. We've already had one previous hangout. I know I've chatted with Dana in the community a few times, and so she jumped on. And so, Dana, can you hear me?
Her mic is muted.
Okay. Okay. Hold on one second. Let me do this. Hold on here. Okay. I'm trying to unmute her. Is it her mic? Because she's unmuted from my end, but it's saying muted, but I can't.
Oh, she muted it. Okay, there she is.
Dana.
Unmuted.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
All
Yes, we can hear you. Welcome to the club.
Hi, guys. It's finally nice to meet you all in person.
Hi, Dana.
Isn't it? Okay, hey Dana. So what I want you to do is just introduce yourself, explain your experience so far in the community, and because we're all just meeting you for the first time, and so go ahead. Mic is yours for a few minutes.
All right. Well, in April, I began with, I'm sure you've all seen the Rodan and Fields opportunity. And for the first couple of months, I did exactly what my upline told me to do, which was post on Facebook 2 to 3 times a day. And I got nowhere, of course. I lost followers. I lost friends. And I'm one of those people who can't go out to parties and do those things. So I rely strictly online. For online to be able to do anything with my business. And so I knew that there had to be a better way. So in June, I started doing a bunch of research. And I found so many different gurus. I was looking for free programs. I was researching how to capture leads. I was researching how to set up websites, videos, you name it. And I'm still continuing that research every single day to help me learn and help me grow. And right now, I know it's not about the opportunity, it's more about branding myself, and that's what I'm working on. This is the second time I've been on a hangout. The first time was with Michelle a little bit earlier today, and so this is only my second hangout. I'm getting used to this camera thing. So,
I'm not.
Robert, you look good.
We are, it's a struggle, but I've noticed with all the information that I've learned, there are people out there who don't know a lot of the things, just the common sense kind of things, that would help promote their business or that would help them earn the money that they're looking for. And I actually, there was a comment, and this has been, I don't know, maybe a couple weeks ago, somebody had asked who makes $100 a month in their opportunity. Well, I was the one that said, not me.
I was the one that asked.
Okay. And see, here's the thing. April, made really a penny in my opportunity. I had one person who signed up for to be a consultant, and she was only a consultant for 3 weeks, and then she quit. And I haven't sold any product. I haven't signed consultants, and a lot of it is because I have had no one other than friends and family in order to contact, and I knew online would give me that opportunity to be able to expand my business and grow. And of course, when I got online, it was a total different story than what I was expecting. I was expecting to go on and throw up some ads and have 30 or 40 people go, "Hey, I want your product," but of course that's not the way it worked.
Yeah, don't work like that.
I found Google Plus, and I found.
That's what the gurus tell you. That's how easy it is.
No, that's not how easy it is. I found Google Plus, and I really love it a lot more than I like the Facebook. And I found Robert's group, and I started talking to people in there, and I just fell in love with the group because everybody has different experiences, and I was able to learn a little bit from everybody. And Robert and I have kind of chatted back and forth. Daniel Fortes and I have. Renee and I have been on conference call. Michelle and I have done hangouts and messaged back and forth. So I mean, the fact that all of the members, well, at least the active members, have been very gracious and have been willing
That's
to help.
the key, Dana. Yeah.
Yes, it is. And so I'm really working on trying to brand myself and build my knowledge so I can do things like the video marketing and the email marketing, trying to start a blog and things of that sort. So, and the community and everybody in it has been extremely helpful with that. So I have a long road ahead of me, but I look forward to it. It's going to be a fantastic journey.
It is, and applaud you for acknowledging all those things and coming on and admitting that, yeah, I haven't had a single sale and, so on and so forth, because it's tough. And, and part of the thing when I was having a conversation with you, which I don't think you really understood, and maybe I wasn't clear enough, was that your target market is actually in the business community with the small business owners. So if you can help them kind of market their business, I actually work with an eyelash extension client, a couple of skincare clients, a nail salon, and the interesting thing I found was some of them carry some of these products, whether it be Nurium, whether they be other skincare products, and it's really kind of interesting. And those where I think is where the average person who's just learning network marketing, who doesn't know how to market, can really go out and learn this stuff to help them market their business and in turn grow their network marketing business. So we'll have to definitely chat more about that in the future for sure.
Yes, definitely. I look forward to it.
Cool. Kai, you've been silent over there, but I saw you hugging on someone. Was that your wife or your daughter or?
That was my baby.
Nice.
She had to come see what I was doing.
And she already likes this stuff. She was like, "Oh, that looks so cool, right?"
Oh, she's a ham. Like, I can't get her off my phone when she's taking pictures of herself. So.
Selfies to success, right? Okay.
That's right.
Who was talking about the 100? Oh, that was Michelle. Michelle, we were. Oh, and then let's talk about content topics really quick. And actually, how about this? Dana, you have not created a video yet, correct?
No, she hasn't.
Okay. Travis, have you created a video yet?
I'm not doing the 10-day challenge.
Right.
For videos, but you do video.
Okay. Because I was trying to find some of yours. I was like, I couldn't find them. So you're gonna have to shoot me a link of some of your videos.
They're not on my personal YouTube channel. They're on, if you look
okay.
of my low. They're on that channel. Because for how I plan to do my marketing, I want to do my Hangouts on my personal channel because I want to be able to repurpose them a lot easier. And so that's why I have two channels, my
right.
channel and my personal one. And
Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go
should,
through. What?
everyone should know how to put this lower third on your videos. It just helps brand yourself. If you have a brand, it's very simple to do. You can put a custom logo if you have a branded logo, but it's free advertising for clicking 2 buttons.
Yeah. We'll do some trainings on those in the future. I mean, this is going to show up on my channel anyway. That's why I don't bother to. So what I want to do is I want to go through and ask people to each person one by one. I'll start with Dana, then I'll go with Kai, I'll go to Michelle, and then Renee, so on and so forth, right down the line. What do you feel is your best talent? Like the thing you love doing the most. Doesn't have to be whether it's related to our industry or not. I just want to take inventory of a couple of skills where people are the most where they feel they have the most talent at, and because I want to be able to help people, help myself, because if I know what you're passionate about, we can all better serve each other. Does that make sense?
Yep.
So Dana, cool. All right, so Dana, really quickly, tell me a couple of your talents and things that you love to actually do, and it doesn't have to be related to our industry.
Okay. Well, one of the big things that I like to do is write. I've always had the gift of writing poetry, short stories, things of that sort. I'm very particular in my writing, very specific about certain things, about the professionalism of when I write. Also, I'm a very creative kind of person. I like to think more outside of the box, try to think of different ways. It's not the best way or the better way, but it's just a little bit different where I can still get a result that I'm looking for just by doing a little bit different. And I like to be creative. That's one of my big things, is that I like to be creative. I like not drawing, but developing logos and spreadsheets and things of that sort that I can use in my business.
Cool. Okay. And tell me one thing
Dana,
that
you are a fabulous writer.
Oh, thank you, Michelle.
No, I mean, you say it's a skill that you have. Yeah, you have serious skills over there. You guys got to read some of her stuff. It's just, she knows how to bring you in and capture your attention and make you feel like you're right there. I went on that jog with you, girl, in the rain.
Good, I'm glad.
Cool, you're going to have to post that stuff in the chat. You're going to have
It's
to
already
post that stuff
posted.
in the chat.
It is a true story, believe it or not. I went walking in that rain. I did exactly everything. I mean, everything that's in that story, I did it. And I just wrote from the heart. And I felt incredibly relieved and released. And I knew that I could use this in my business and have somebody else feel the same way that I felt. And that's one thing I like to do with my writing. So.
Alrighty. Cool. Kai, you're up, bro.
Can everybody hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. You know, I up until I kind of take an assessment of you know, just what I'm trying to do with my business, I think what I'm most passionate about really is after meeting people like Dana, and I have several others that I've invited to the community, so hopefully I see them more and more. But there's a lot of people that, you know, some of the things that I've learned online I take for granted. Kind of like what Robert was saying, you know, we know how to do Hangouts, and there's tons of people that don't. So I'm really, my passion at first was, you know, just content, build this up. But I think it's more about helping other people, and it's been fun to meet. Like I met more people this last week just posting videos and doing this challenge than I had in the previous month, I would say, online. And I was doing some sneaky ninja stuff on Facebook even, just talking with people. And I met a guy on Facebook that was doing some of that, and I thought, okay, well, I'll dabble and see. And that's where I kind of thought, you know what, I'm way off on the deep end here. I need to focus on one thing and one thing only. And that was one of the inspirations for that last video I put up is going in one direction. So I think my passion right now is kind of helping get some other people up to speed. You know, our first hangout, I said that Renee was kind of like my people. You know, the network marketers that are trying to get online and do something online. And so I think that's really who I want to help, is those folks that are kind of behind the curve on that. I thought that at one of these hangouts, maybe the one that I host, I'll volunteer to host one. We show some of those technical tricks that I think, Danny, you and I were talking about before everybody got on. Putting together a real easy, basic formula for people who are going to use video as a platform for their marketing, so that way they have at least a shot at using the right keywords and optimizing titles and optimizing their videos so they can get that done. And then, you know, if that turns into something that's their passion, then great. Sorry, I'm rambling a little bit, but I think that's where I'm at. I want to help some people.
Good stuff. Absolutely, man. I mean, no, don't worry about rambling when you're talking about the passionate stuff that can actually serve people. And I just want to say too that before, I don't want this to come off because the video that I just posted to as part of the challenge today, I didn't post it in the group yet, but it wasn't a shot at anyone in particular. I was just saying that I like to show more of the step-by-step stuff because that's where I struggle and that's the stuff I needed the most. So now, and going back to what you said earlier, Kai, we take for granted what we actually know. And so by piecing all this stuff together for people and just putting it out there, we are technically serving the community and building up goodwill at the same time. So no, don't apologize for being passionate about this subject because, yeah, there's a lot of people in the network marketing industry who do need this kind of help. So there's no question. Michelle, the get focused guru. That's her moniker. I was like, yo, that works for you, especially because you don't know. I don't think most of you know Michelle's whole story, but she shared her story with me, which is very powerful. And when you understand that, then you will understand why the Get Focused grew. And you know, and she's an amazing person. Obviously, I mean, you know, you can see just the light shine in. So
yeah, I went on
Michelle,
her blog and read her story, so that was cool.
Thanks,
isn't
guys.
it? Yeah.
So what am I passionate about?
Yeah. Give me a short list. Yeah. The things you're most passionate about or you're most talented with.
Thanks. I'm just
kind of like an inventory.
Oh, okay. I'm just like Kai. Like I love helping people, and I love telling people what to do. So I guess it's training. You know, I love training. I bet I told you about 3-4 things to do already, Danny. Did you do this? Did you do that?
My
What
God.
have you done?
Yep. Hey, but you know me, I don't sit there and see. I don't take it like I'm being ordered around. It's like it's good for me because I'm just, you know, I'm all over the place myself, so I got to be reeled in to make sure. So I don't mind people who live by the checklist and can tell you what to do. Trust me, you need some people who are authoritative because sometimes I feel I'm just not authoritative enough. So, back to you.
Yeah. Thank you. That's just me. That's my passion. You know, I'm a driver. You know, I love taking care of business. I love getting things done. And when I'm building a team, you know, I want everything to be optimum. I want everyone to fully experience your fully developed self. That's what I'm really passionate about. Personally, come to fullness of my potential, what I can do. And I'm pressing myself and I'm pushing myself. And so that's what I want for the whole world. I want everyone in the world to become your full potential so that we can change the world and make a better place. Rest in peace, Michael Jackson.
Awesome. Good stuff, girl. Renee. Hey, Renee, I wanted to say, too, that I wanted to actually reach out and actually have some time to talk to you. So I'm telling you this now in case, like, the week gets away again. okay? Because I definitely wanted to connect. I connected a little bit with Kai. I've talked to Michelle a couple times, so I definitely want to talk to you next. So definitely this week, carve out a short amount of time for us, and we'll make it happen. But I just wanted to say that now before, once we get off this Hangout and so forth. So go ahead, Renee.
Unmute your mic, honey.
Let me see here.
Why is she muted?
Okay.
Unmute your mic, Renee.
Let me see here. Hold on one second. Can't hear you, Renee.
All right.
Yeah, it's not on my end.
Tell her to push the mic button on her screen.
She has an iPhone.
She's got it on her iPhone, so I can't tell her what to do.
Yeah.
Can't hear you. Renee, we can't hear you, so I'm gonna try to come back to you, but try to figure out what's going on. In the meantime, I just muted myself. Meantime, I'm gonna go to Robert, and I'm gonna talk to Robert, and we're gonna try to come back to you. Okay? So, Robert, you got it, bro.
All right, thanks, Daniel. You know what? When I think about it, touching base on touching what Dana had mentioned about like she has no, nobody left in her inner circle. Basically, family, friends. I've been there, Dana, so I know exactly where you're coming from, and I'm sure anybody in this industry does. And I think when you go through that and you continue to want to do this, it says a lot about yourself. And I think I just don't quit. I just, if everybody at work thinks I'm delusional, if my family doesn't agree, I just don't want to ever quit. I'm going to keep going until I make it. And I think that's what I'm passionate about. I'm just passionate, and everything that I do, I learn from. If things in this community, other companies that I've been in, people that I've been associated with, I learned some of the greatest things from people that have scammed me, in a sense, because it made me realize what I don't want to do, and how I don't want to be successful. And I've been there, and I'm sure we all have. So my passion is for this industry, and definitely to make it and kind of bring people along for the ride and with me. And that's why this community, it's just amazing what I see happening. And I know Dana is so active within the community, and she's such a huge part of it, and all of you are. And you're the reasons why the community continues to grow. You're the reason why when people come on, I do have some rules where you have to introduce yourself. Not a big deal. If you don't introduce yourself, then nobody's going to know who you are and know that you're a real person. So I ask people to do a few things, but I think it's what happens after they do that really makes them stay, makes them check out the rest of the community, and start this whole interaction, thing happening. So that's my passion, Daniel. I want to continue to grow this community, and I want to make it, and I want to bring thousands of people with me when I do. I've made some great connections, over the last few years in this industry, and you know what? We talk every week. We talk every week, and sometimes in the future things are going to start happening. Things are going to start unfolding, and all those connections that I've made, they're all going to mean something. When this community has 100,000 people in it, there's going to be things happening. I mean, I've already talked to a good friend of mine who has a very successful online traffic company. I don't want to get into that, but we've talked, and he has a lot of connections, and he even mentioned having experts come on these calls and inviting them on. And I'm like, we have tons of experts in the community. So I'm not really concerned about actually inviting gurus and stuff. I I think what we're doing here is more powerful. Is more powerful than any of those guys because there's real people here. So I just invite everybody to come to the community. Introduce yourself. You're going to be welcomed with open arms, and you're going to start making the connections that are going to guarantee your success. Because that's what I say up on the top. So, thanks for doing this, Daniel. Thanks for everybody for being on this hangout. And I really look forward to kind of getting together with everybody individually too. And for more people to start coming on. I want people to start really getting on this and kind of, like I said earlier, you know what? Get over your fear and just go for it, man, like I did. This is only my second hangout, so it's fun stuff. Thanks, Daniel.
You're welcome, Robert. And Robert, don't ever apologize for having those rules, because those rules are actually what make the community so great. I mean, you definitely know your places where you can go in. You could literally, it says there's areas where there's no links, and that's great because, like I said, I think I mentioned this last week. I got tired of being in groups where you can't, on Facebook, for instance, you can't share any links. You can't share your own videos. You can't share. The only thing you can do is conversate about whatever product or reason why you're in that group in the first place. That's just ridiculous. And so that's another reason why I'm loving the way that Google Plus has their community format, because you can have these rules in certain area, but still do you want to post links in other areas. There's plenty of places to do that. You want to go and conversate and just shoot the breeze. There's plenty of places for that. So you've built really, it's like a hotel. It's like you're walking into a hotel. Here's the ballroom where there's dancing. Here's where you go check in at the desk. Here's where you go to the lounge, and that's exactly what you built, and that's honestly what's really cool about the group. And again, you can still do all the other stuff you want to do. So it's like you can post your stuff, you can post your opportunity, but you can still engage with everybody and still just have regular conversations as well. So it's awesome, man. Thank you.
Appreciate that.
That is awesome.
Thank you.
Travis, my man, in Mexico.
Yes. I'm not Mexican though, but it's okay.
Yeah, you got that last week when I was trying to speak Spanish.
The Canadian. I don't even speak Spanish, so it's okay. My passion is travel. My thing is I like helping people, and I want to help people create location-independent businesses. A lot of people think that travel is expensive, and you have to spend thousands of dollars to go to a resort, which I think is one of the worst ways to travel. But that's my opinion. My thing is I want to help people to create an online business. Especially in this industry, there's a lot of gurus that say do this and that. I like to help people. And talking on Robert's point about sometimes people might think what you're doing is wrong or going to work out. I can tell you this decision not to go back to Canada anytime soon. My dad, when I talk to him, tells me this is the stupidest decision I've ever done. So you might have family, you might have friends that don't agree with you, but I can tell you this. My life since I left Canada is better than it was living in Canada for the fact that I'm doing what I truly want to do. This is like, in my heart of hearts, is traveling and helping people. And so for people that you have family, especially family and friends that are telling you that what you're doing is stupid, it's not. It might be tough to hear it, but I can promise you there is light at the end of the tunnel if you stick with it. There's a book called The Way not to be going towards something that you're passionate about, there's going to be resistance. And those people telling you that crap is part of the resistance. If you make it through it, it gets better.
Can you can you tell us a little bit about independent? What did you say? Location independent businesses. That sounds really exciting. What is that?
Well, it's just like I can work anywhere where I have an internet connection. So currently I'm exploring Mexico, but before this I was in Jamaica, Cuba, and I can still do my business. A lot of people think that a home-based business, you just have to be in front of a desk all day or at a coffee shop, but that's not the case. There's multiple tools out there to help with your time management skills, and like everything in the backpack, like everything I own in this world fits into a Canada backpack, and I can run a business that keeps me out of Canada, and every day outside of Canada for me is a better day. So my goal is just to help people to transition from the home-based business and thinking that you have to be stuck in one place, that you can move your business to where you want to be. The world is a big place. Why do we have to be stuck in one place and have 2-week vacations? I don't agree with it.
That's a great motto. The world is a big place. Why be stuck in one spot? Run with it.
I'm going to call you Travis Live Shepherd. Location, independent vacationing entrepreneur.
Roam the world on your own terms.
That's right.
Live.
I love it.
And that's. I mean, you spoke about something. You touched on something, Michelle, that I was going to bring up, but I might as well just bring it up before I talk to Renee really quick. Is having some sort of messaging. I know one of the things I say on some of my videos is, it came from the same struggles that we've all had, right? So mine is the rejection-free formula: no calling, no chasing, no convincing. Okay.
That's right.
When I talk to business owners, when I talk to local business owners in the community, one of the things I say to them is I talk to them and say, I know you only care about 3 things. They're 3 R's: results, repeat customers, and ROI. So you got to have these little buzz things, and I love what you said, Travis. I mean, that location independent business is like that's cool. So, but I encourage everyone, if you just put some stuff together, it could be the things you want to do, the struggles that you're having, and then somehow be able to reword that and flip it and almost kind of work for you, because you'll go through a bunch of different things. And, it was just finally I came up with that. I was just kind of like, I like rejection.
Yeah, you caught my attention with that. That's why I stayed on your page.
No, that's amazing. I like that.
And it literally came from my own personal struggles and how I didn't want to do the things like go talk to friends and family and all that other stuff. So, Renee, so I know you heard me before. Let's do a mic check.
Yes. Can you hear me now?
Yes. Yes, I can.
Yay! Well, this being my second Hangout, I figured out how to unmute myself. So that's an accomplishment in of itself. As far
the best thing about having
I think I'm good at, I'm with everybody else, and I'm all about helping people. I think one of my strengths is I really like to talk with people and listen to who they are, why they are doing what they're doing, seeing if there's any need, and trying to help them get whatever resources they need, whether it be from me or somebody else. I see so many people struggling out there, and I used to be one of them. And I really want to point them in the right direction and show them that, it doesn't have to be as bad a struggle as it is right now. If you know where to go, like this community is a great one. If you get the right training from the right people that actually care and want to help you, you shouldn't have to struggle anymore. So I guess the main thing that I like to do is really just talk to people and figure out whether they have a need, and if they do, pointing them in the right direction and helping them get there so that they can feel like they can succeed. Because I think that's the hardest part about this industry is, people don't know where to begin. You know, even if they've been in it for a while, they don't necessarily know because it's constantly changing. And there are people out there willing to help, and I want to show these people where these people are, and that's where it begins.
That's awesome. Because two things you touch on really and that are key, because we're told so many different things. I mean, I know Dana was talking about how she was told to just go post on social media, right? And we're told to just, and then also having belief. Those are two very important things: is where to begin and having actually belief that you can do this. Now, the other lie that we're actually told is that this can happen overnight. I mean, you know, Robert touched on that earlier. It's everything is push button, simple, easy. And there was even this book that I read in one time, and I read it at the perfect time in my life, because it said when everyone else is making it look so easy, and then you're not having success, you sit there and ask yourself, what's wrong with me?
Right.
And then doubt sets in, and then I mean on and on and on, because we've bought and because we've been sold and purchased like hook, line, and sinker all the lies that go into this industry. So really interesting. Michelle, you were saying something. Sorry, Michelle.
Can you hear me?
Hello.
Did I mute myself? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, you can?
No, you're good.
Nope, we can hear
Yep.
you.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm sorry. Renee, I just think that you're doing a fabulous job. I've been watching your videos, and I know you say you only did a few of them, but you just really come across as a genuine person, and your message is all about something very useful to the people that are going to be watching you. And if you were my leader, I would definitely feel good about being on your team. I know I'm going to get some good leadership information from you. You're doing great.
Well,
I'm going to
thank
make
you,
a
Michelle. I
challenge.
appreciate that. And Michelle and I had a wonderful conversation yesterday, and she does what she said she's going to do, because she told me some things that, you know, I wasn't aware that I could do on my videos, and it was an incredible help. Just as far as taking notes and actually putting them into a computer as instead of a notebook. You know, very simple things. But these are the types of things that I want to be able to show and take to my teammates, and whether they're on my team or not, I want to be able to, you know, in my videos, when I do start making a lot more, you know, step-by-step type of videos, I want to be able to show those people, you know, how to do that and make that learning curve a little bit shorter. I mean, obviously it does take time, but if I could do anything to make it somewhat easier, I'm going to figure out a way to do that.
Awesome. Hey, I'm gonna make a little suggestion based on some of the skills and talents that we actually have on this panel here, and how we can all benefit. Okay, I think most of us, except for Dana, have spent enough time with each other to know, okay, where everyone's kind of strong point is. Okay, and so I want to put together. This is going to be a mini challenge. This is not going to be something you have to do. We have until the next Hangout, which will be next week. And just so everybody knows, I know I didn't post this. You know, we all got a lot going on, but we're gonna do this every week. And even if I'm not able to take the lead, other people should be able to take the lead on other Sundays as well. And eventually, I'm thinking Wednesday might be the best night during the week to actually have one. I was going to throw that out there this week. But we'll talk about that more in the group, because I want to keep this down to literally 1 hour. So the challenge I have is since Dana's so good at writing, she can either write some information based on, you know, our individual individuality. So what I'm saying is we should create a video that welcomes people or welcomes our prospect, that we always have, that we can show someone to say, here's what we're about. Here's what we have to offer. Here's how I can help you. And basically under 90 seconds, and that we can share with each other to have these videos crafted for one another. Robert doesn't have a video yet. Robert should be the first one to have one, since he's the creator of this community, and there can be a video that talks about the rules of the community, for instance. That could be your first video, Robert. For Dana, It could be that she likes to write. She'll help you position and kind of say things better from what your initial script could be. Kai, myself, Michelle, we're great at video, whether it's editing video, whatever. So if you guys shoot your videos, we can possibly be tasked to actually edit the videos for you. And that's how we can leverage each other's talents better. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So the challenge for this week is a 90-second video that it could be for your business, it could be for your website, it could be for a message that you send for whenever you meet someone for the first time and you want to be able to just send them a message as a welcome message, so to speak. Okay? And we'll work with one another to get each other's videos done. Now, the editing might take a little while, seeing how Kai and I and Michelle and Renee are in a 10-day challenge. But if we only get 8 of the videos done on our 10-day challenge, let's have a little grace.
I'm not in the challenge. No. You
Okay,
haven't
well,
seen one video from me. I'm about to get started though.
Okay.
Then I'm gonna get on board.
Okay. Well, initially I told Kai, I said I'm gonna have a really hard time with the 10 days, so I may have to stretch mine out to 15. But I said I'm committed. Matter of fact, even through the process, I actually I have the 7th one already created because I got into a flow of doing them, and that's another thing that happens when you're doing. You figure out how to get better or more efficient at actually doing it. So, you know, mine may take a couple extra days, but knowing how editing may take some time, and we're trying to help one another in this community, let's make that our goal. That this still will take some priority, especially if we're doing one a day, because it looks like there's 7 people, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people, so that averages out to 1 a day. I can definitely commit to doing editing for 1 video per day for someone in this group if you guys are committed to doing it. So show me a thumbs up if you guys are committed to this challenge.
I'm not as good as you, so I'll edit somebody's video.
No, you can just use your talent to actually help people and give tips on how they can make their video better.
Yeah, I'll help anybody with anything.
Yeah.
I'm Michelle on that one.
Yeah, I'm scared to say that. I'm slow, you guys. I know I look fast, but I'm slow.
We have a question in the chat.
The final product, Michelle, that's what matters.
That's right.
Michelle, are you watching the chat? Are there any questions before we log off here? And
there's one.
Yes.
I see. And I think we should all maybe throw a tip if you have a
suggestion. Kayla Canto says, how do we go about the folks who make it look easy? Would you advise us to ask them how do they go about growing their success?
I would, if I can take that, because I can speak to something, is that if I were to go dig up some first videos and show you guys would laugh your absolute tails off, because most of the videos I first created are I mean, they're still on the editing floor because they were that bad. They never were uploaded, okay? How I got good or how I got better was by doing. And it's the learn, do, teach. If you don't know something, and I would highly recommend watching Brendan Burchard's video on what the successful people do, okay? And he talks about if you don't know how to do something, schedule it, and then learn it. When you learn it, practice it. When you practice it, then teach it to someone else. And once you can teach something, you're learning. You're in the form of, you're not a master yet, but you're learning in the form of being able to then master that skill. So the more you do a video, the better. So for instance, editing video. First time I was on iMovie, probably 3 hours later, still couldn't even learn the basic functionality. Okay. Now I can get done, do all my editing. Depending on how long the video is, if it's a 1.5-minute video, I could probably be done in under 6 minutes. But it's from when I took the time to actually learn it, struggle, you learn through the struggle, you get to a point, and now I can actually teach someone else how to do it. That's when you've mastered a skill. So for anyone starting out, I was like, first you have to just learn how to do it, and then you have to actually do it. It's not really rocket science. It's like, and then the repetition over time will give you the success that you're looking for.
I'm 2 years into this, and the aha moment is just occurring now. I'm seeing myself do things that I saw the leaders do when I first got started, and I got so frustrated because I'm like, how do they do that? You struggle, and you don't quit, and you keep going, and it takes time.
Cool. All right, so in under 10 seconds or less, I'm going to go through, give somebody one quick tip on what they should do. If you were starting all over again, what would be the one thing in under 10 seconds and signing off that you would do differently or that they should do as advice based on what you've learned in your journey? So Dana, I'm going to start with you.
What I would say is research, research, research. Gain as much knowledge as you possibly can on every subject, especially if you're trying to go online. Talk to gurus in that specific subject. Read about their products, their services. Read their books, and just talk to others as much as you can and gain as much knowledge as you possibly can.
Cool. Kai.
I would say if I started it over, I would focus on branding me right from the very beginning, not hiding behind something, starting off, putting my name out there, securing my website. I would have started with me first, then promoting somebody else and working for them, because that's what I ended up doing, was working for somebody else. So I had another job on top of the job I already had.
Kai, I think I'm already, without listening to everybody else,
Exactly.
I'm going to just give that the Star Award of this Hangout for the
Absolutely.
Golden Nugget Award right there.
Yeah, that's a golden nugget.
I mean, yeah.
Oh, sure is.
Michelle, you.
Oh, take excellent notes. Always take notes and keep your notes.
Yeah. Because that also works out to being your content, too, in the future, right?
Yeah.
Keep all your notes. Take notes. If you don't, you're going to repeat your efforts over and over again.
Absolutely. Renee.
I would say if I were to start over again, I would focus on one thing and be good at that one thing, and then try to move to other things. I think the biggest mistakes I made was trying to do it all at one time, and it got overwhelming. So I would say find one thing you know you're good at, get better at it, master it, and then move on to something else.
Robert.
Okay, Daniel. Yeah, you know what? I think the number one thing for me would be building relationships. And I know, Daniel, you touched on this last week. People need to worry about building real relationships. That means picking up the phone, getting on a hangout, really getting to know people. You know, all the gurus will tell you the money's in the list. Well, the money's not in the list. The money's in the list if you build relationships with those people. And that's, I think, that's one of the most important things for me. You know, don't get fooled by what you hear about, you know, gurus making, you know, $1 for every person on their email list, because it's not true. You know, two different campaigns sent out by two different people will get completely different returns. You know, the person that builds the relationships, that's the person that makes money. So focus on that. There you go.
Travis.
If I was to start over again, I would get a blog yesterday, and then I'd pick one traffic source, paid or non-paid, and focus on that until I found success.
Great advice.
The
For me-
blog is number one. Like, if you don't have a blog, learn it now and have in the next week. What you can do is find out how to create one or get it created for next week. It takes all of 30 minutes to get a blog. But that is, to make money online, you need a blog. Pretty much.
One, and my piece will be one of the things I talk about in the rejection-free formula is establishing yourself as a person of authority, and it just piggybacks off of what Kai said and what Travis said, is like when you have your own blog, you have your own branding, okay? You have your own business. Until then, you are working and promoting other people. So that would be mine, is those things. It's establishing yourself as a person of authority in whatever way, shape, form that is, whether it's your blog, your videos, your whatever, but then obviously building a list as well. So that's it. Guys, it's 10 past the hour. as always, appreciate you guys hanging out. This is always a lot of fun. Can't wait to do it again. Again, Renee, I want to talk to you this week, and probably Robert by the end of the week as well. And then I'm going to get to Travis next. But yeah, guys, appreciate you. Thanks for jumping on. Have a fantastic day. God bless. Talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Take care, guys.